Buonasera, I'm Christopher Stewart. Now, I'm going to talk about something kind of interesting and neat. Dario Argento is a fantastic director, absolutely amazing. And Dario created a specific signature to all of his films. Now, lots of directors have done this in the past. It got a huge start with people like Alfred Hitchcock, who made his signature of he was always in his own films, which was copied by everybody, including me, and things of this nature. Dario has a unique signature to his films. And it's really wonderful, it's really neat to actually study and look at. Because what Dario does is he incorporates an image or a symbol of every film he did before. So where you have problems with Italy going, well, what film was shot when? You don't have that problem with Dario Argento if you know what to look for, because his signature tells you exactly when that film was made, in what sequence, because every single film contains a piece from the previous film. Now, what he started with is, of course, The Bird with Crystal Plumage. So every film must have a bird. Then he went to Cat o' Nine Tails. Every movie must have a cat or a cat's eye. Then he started realizing that he could very quickly paint himself into a corner. He didn't want to do that. So as things went a little bit further on, he got a little less direct and a little more abstract. And he possibly has one or two symbols for a specific film. Inferno was fire. Deep red, the color red. Blood. Tenebrae. Tenebrae was a razor blade. Suspira. Suspira ended up being magic. Now, Demons and Demons 2, sometimes we don't actually attribute it to Dario because it's more a Lamberto Bava group of films than it was Dario's. But Dario simply just brings it all together because the two of them are working coherent on it. And what he does is he just brings in a demon image or demonology or something of that nature within the entire corporation of the picture. For an example of this, if you look at the movie Suspira, there's a small like strobe light flash against a tree that has a shadow image of a tiny demon against the tree. So sometimes these symbols are really difficult to spot, but if you look hard, you can actually see them. You have Phenomenon, which is an insect. You have the church. Now, the church is a little bit strange because he didn't want to necessarily make sure that he always had a church in the background. So it's either a church or it's religion. Catacombs. A lot of people don't actually know that it's a Dario Argento film because the American director took full credit for it and Dario's name was struck from the credits. But it's actually a Dario Argento film, and the American director actually didn't do much as far as anything in the production. But what it came down to is Catacombs, he either uses an underground system, like in church he had underground areas, or he uses death, like a skeleton, a skull, something of that nature. Then you get into opera. Opera gets confusing. It could be the sound. It could be a piece of an opera somewhere. It's more likely a raven, a crow's eye, which also goes back to incorporate things from the Bird with Crystal Plumage. So it's kind of a meld as far as it goes. And Now, I didn't work with him after '86, so I'm not sure just how much further he went with this. But that's a lot of it. Now, there may be a few other films in there. I can't really remember off the top of my head. I'm just going with what I can recall. But that's Dario. And it's really neat when you sit there and you look for each individual clue. Because you can really make it fun to sit there and say, okay, where's the bird in that picture? There's got to be one somewhere, you know, and that kind of thing. So it's really kind of fun. But that's working with Dario Argento.